Well, guys, it looks like they finally discovered what killed King Kong. No, it wasn't a poisoned banana, an airplane, or falling from the Empire State Building. No, it is the biggest danger to all of us that's going to annihilate the human race within 5 minutes. That's right. It was climate change that killed King Kong. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Zach the WretchedWatchmen. I'm bringing you a little bit of news. Now, every once in a while, we got to go over some of the most ridiculous and absurd news articles out there, just for a little laugh. If we're not laughing, we're crying. And sometimes they just put out the stupidest. There's no other way to put it. The stupidest news, where you sit there and go, "This is what you're spending your time and resources on." Well, ultimately, it's there just to push their agenda of climate change. But it's just absurd what they classify as news. Now, this actually hit the news waves the other day. What killed the real King Kong? Scientists say they now know the answer to that ancient mystery. It did not fall from the Empire State Building. No. Instead, the giant ape, sometimes dubbed the real King Kong, was driven to extinction by climate change. That's right, to put its favorite fruits out of reach during the dry season, according to new research published Wednesday in the journal Nature. Now, I find it funny that this is written by people named Mithil Agarwal and Alice Kong. Did they just find somebody with the last name Kong just to tag them onto this project? I just want to know. It's kind of interesting. Kong, written by Kong. Sorry. Let's keep going, shall we, with this absurd quote-unquote news. Standing 10 feet tall and weighing up to 650 pounds, King Kong roamed the forested plains of southern China's Guangxi region hundreds of thousands of years ago, chowing down on fruits and flowers. Now, this is where it gets illogical, so to say, and I'll explain it to you when we get there. Without a precise timeline for a creature's extinction, that's right, without a precise timeline for a creature's extinction, you're looking for clues in the wrong places, said one of the study's lead authors, Kira Westaway, geochronologist. That's not right, but you understand what I'm saying, at Macquarie University in Sydney. But researchers were able to use one of the latest techniques called luminescence dating, which enables them to date the soil around the fossils in 22 caves in southern China. That helped them conclude that the giant apes died out sometime between 295,000 years ago and 215,000 years ago. Without precise timeline, but they just magically come up with a way that's able to get them a timeline. I want to know how they fact check themselves to look at these dates that they put on the fossils and all that stuff. How they just magically come up with these random years of all these years ago, when in reality, if you just look at the Bible, it gives us a pretty clear date that we live in a young Earth, not an old Earth, but then again, these are the same people that believe that we come from things like King Kong. Let's keep going, shall we? Several dozen species of great apes inhabited Africa, Europe, and Asia between around 2 million and 22 million years ago. Nope, that's wrong. Today, only gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos, and orangutans remain. Westaway said the research could also open a possible window into the future of how humans can adapt to adverse climate events and ensure the survival of the species. Oh, it's always great when they just call us things like species and subjects and stuff like that. Yep. Really puts a precedent on trying to understand how primates respond to environmental stresses and what makes certain primates vulnerable and what makes other ones resilient. So as you can tell, they're calling us primates. Like I said, that's that evolution thing where the thing's been around for billions of years and nothing exploded. And then from that explosion, from nothing, something came about. And then that something just happened to develop over billions of years into something. So nothing came from, or something came from nothing practically. You see how it's illogical? And then they're sitting there going, well, if you don't know how to precisely calculated timeline, you're looking in the wrong place. So let's look at this thing that we created that just magically creates a timeline. Can we verify that that's the actual thing? No, of course not, but it's science. So we always go with science, right? No, I'll stick with the creator, the God of science, which is God, of course. But I just find it funny that you're pushing the climate agenda, you're pushing extinction, you're pushing evolution, you're pushing old Earth, you're pushing the Big Bang, you're pushing all this in just a simple little article like this. And now we sit here and we just laugh and go, "This is ridiculous. This actually made the news." But the thing is this type of news is just propaganda in order to get people to just naturally go along and believe the stuff that they're putting in there. And they jam pack this tiny little article with so much false information. Of course, they're always getting on us about misinformation, when in reality, this entire article is misinformation. But I just thought I'd share this with you guys. This is kind of a smaller little video, but it's absolutely absurd. The agenda that they continue to push, and we've gone in depth on where this climate thing came from. It's just made up from the Club of Rome, and basically, they needed to create they say it in their book, they need to create some type of uh, enemy in order to bring about a one world system, and so they develop climate. They admit in the book that we are humanity, us are the actual enemy, and we're the problem and all these things, and it has to do with creating this antichrist beast system that they want, and they're using climate to do it. And of course, we know Satan is the author of lies. He's going to continue to push false things like old Earth and evolution and Big Bang and all these things that, as we know, Scripture clearly says that's all false. That is all false. Oh my goodness, this world is getting insane, guys. It's just, well, getting insane. It is insane. It's just getting more insane. It's getting insaner, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm not going to drone on anymore about this. Just understand what they're trying to do with this. Yeah, we can laugh, but at the same time, we can understand what they're trying to do. Just trying to put out more propaganda in order to promote Satan's agenda, ultimately. So, oh, guys, just continue to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. We're in a season, the season, where at any time the Lord can come and get us, and we just need to continue to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with as many people as we can, and point out how laughable things is like this. Because while we may sit here and laugh at this, millions of people actually believe that stuff that they're putting forward. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you right here. Peace out. Maranatha.